What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we're going to be going over some of the best players in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM, and we're going to be going over the best two guards in this video. So we're only going to be going over primary two guards. These are not going to have secondary. So we're going to see some guys that probably, we're going to see some guys you guys can probably play a point guard, but the reason why I'm doing this is just for consistency reasons. Just so we don't see the same player on multiple tier lists, because it's not as much of an issue now. Like, it wouldn't be as much of an issue now because there's clearly guys you're like, oh yeah, they're point guards. But when later on in the year, when every player becomes like 6 plus, it's an issue. When every point guard's like 6 plus, it's an issue. So anyway, first up is Houston. Now, I don't mind Houston. Like, I don't think he's that good. It's a tough one. Like, as far as opals go, he's one of the worst. He's one of the weak. He's not one of the worst. Sorry, that is a ridiculous thing. Like, he's one of the weaker opals. He's definitely one of the weaker opals. Like, Allen Houston, he really shoots the ball. Like, he does really shoot the ball. But his defense is meh. I was trying to say mediocre and meh, but ended up saying meh. I mean, it's mediocre, it's meh. His speed's okay. Like, his shooting's good. He doesn't even come off range. B. Now, Anthony Morrow, purely because of the fact that he's not even Anthony Morrow, he's going to go into D tier. So if you guys don't remember Anthony Morrow, he used to have, like, his player build back in the old days. Like, I don't think he was in the game after 2K18. Because I remember his 2K18 card, he had a card that came out in the Swingman set. That was like a beast. 2K17, he had a card in Deep Shooters, one of those Deep Shooter sets. And he was insane. But Morrow was a sniper. He had a skinny player build. He always moved better than he should have, and he was so good. This year, they just made him Bryn Forbes. I'm not even joking. If you go into game, he's not even Anthony Morrow. He's Bryn Forbes. So, yeah, it doesn't matter. This card could have all 99 every sets, but the fact that he's literally Bryn Forbes, I'm putting him worthless. Bradley can play a bit of defense. He's like a much worse version of Gary Payton's Pink Diamond. Sigs-wise, he's similar. His Sigs are actually pretty good. His shot is okay. His defense is good, but at this stage of the year, he's probably E. He might give it this. He might give it to the D, though. He might give it to the D. I just realized I've got more tiers in this. I didn't even have an E tier in my point guard tier list. So Io's alright. Like, he can't really shoot the ball that well, but he's 6'5", 2 guard, can play at the 1. Io's a really good card. His all-around game is solid. He doesn't do anything bad. He's a decent defender. He's just, in general, a solid player in my team this year. So, then we have got Ben Gordon. So now Ben Gordon for me he's going to go B, but I mean, if you want to argue Ben Gordon A tier, I'm all for it. Ben Gordon is a way better. Screw it, I'm putting Ben Gordon in A. Now, this guy is really nice. So imagine a Monte Ellis, except instead of having a 6'2" wingspan, he's a 6'8" wingspan. That's basically what you're getting with Ben Gordon. Ben Gordon for me is like better Opal Monte Ellis. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Really good dribble sigs, quick dribble style, base 22 on quick. Just an all-around really good player. And for me, Ben Gordon, A tier is, he might get moved down, but for A tier for now. And then Beal's going to go C tier. Beal is like a much worse Allen Houston. They both have the same release. But the thing with Beal is, yeah, he's an alright defender. But like, he's tiny. He's 6'3". I cannot put he can't move either. Like, if Beal had like quicker shifty, you could maybe say, oh yeah, you know what, just use him as your primary. But no, he can't really move. He's got Ray Allen base. He's a catch and shoot player that is 6'3". So yeah, there's no reason to ever use this card here. Buddy Hield, you're going B tier. Buddy's freaking good, lads. Buddy's so good. His defense leaves a bit to be desired, but he's 6'4", got a long wingspan. He's like a mini Kobe. He's obviously nowhere near as good as Kobe, but when I mean like a mini Kobe, like he's like a smaller version. Smaller Kobe, who's worse on defense. He's somewhere between, like he's not that much worse than the Pink Diamond Kobe. He's worse. He's definitely worse. But he's not like that much worse. He's definitely not worse than the Opal. Because he does get Kobe release on quick, which is such a good release. His movement is good. His shooting is good. everything about this card just in general is good. Like, the only real flaws we have with Buddy Hield is that, I mean, the only real flaw we can have with Buddy Hield is he's just a little bit small and not quite good on defense. If this card had the exact same defense and defensive badges as his other diamond to add on to the badges he has, he would be God. Genuinely would be. Byron Scott. Now, I'm putting Byron Scott in C tier. I think I might have to move Ben Gordon down one, but Byron Scott has actually got a really nice... He's just a really nice card. Like, again, his release is pretty deep. It's pretty good. It's base 22, but it's on normal timing. Definitely not Ben Gordon to go, but it's weird when, like, 22 is one of those releases where I hate it on, like, Mike Miller. I hate it on Chris Mullin, but I don't mind on other players. And I don't mind it on him. And that's always my, like... That's always the thing that I hate with base 22 when I'm talking about that release. Because I'm always, like base 22, I don't know if I love it or hate it. There are times where I'm like, you know what, base 22, I'm absolutely chick with it. And there's other times where I'm like, it's just slow. Cade D. Cade's so terrible stats wise. No, that's ridiculous putting him in D tier. He's disappointing. He might go D for disappointing, but he's probably C for tier. Like, this card, we all knew when this card came out that we were going to be getting Cade. Like, when Cade came out on the Monday, and on the Tuesday I made like a prediction video for Season 5, and I was like, I can guarantee you that either we're getting Cade in packs or the level 40 reward is Cade. I was like, I can guarantee it's one or the other. Obviously, we got him in packs. Yeah, this Cade stinks. He's genuinely not good. CJ McCollum. Like, CJ McCollum is, again... gonna go E tier. He can kind of shoot. He can kind of shoot. Not kind of shoot. He can really shoot. He can dribble okay. Doesn't play defense. I don't know. Maybe you can argue McCollum in D tier. I'm putting E tier for now. Cliff Hagan, I'm gonna put in C tier. He was all right for his time. I mean, he was the Ascension in Season 2. And he was like one of the very first like okay Ascension awards we got and the people were using. The problem is that, like, does anyone really care about Ascension awards anymore? Like, we're sure we're in 2022. Ascension is kind of... Well, Maurice, people care about Maurice Lucas, but then they gave us freaking Kyle Lowry this season. I can't even remember who Season 3's Ascension award was. Was Hagan Season 3 or was Hagan Season 2? Surely Hagan was Season 2. Would people have been that hyped about him in Season 3? Yeah, he was Season 3 actually, but yeah, Cron Butler was Season 2. That is mad, but Hagan's fine. As far as players go, Hagan is completely fine. He was a lot better than Butler. Clyde. In this stage of the game, Clyde's going to go D tier. Man had his time. He had his time. Time's not now. Alright, we're going to fill out Worthless tier. We're like 8 minutes into this tier list, so we're almost a third of the way in. So I'm going to fill out Worthless. We got Morrow in there. Okay. I might get some stick for this. I think Hersey Hawkins is terrible. Like, the more I've used this guy, the more I hate this guy. I really do think Hersey Hawkins is terrible. I've had to use him in a few situations. And I've just, again, last season when I was playing clutch time, I'd be just using random players sometimes when I was bored. And he was really bad. I'm putting Pink Dot and Michael Jordan in Worthless tier as well. Like, does he deserve to be a tier higher? Maybe. But, like, the guy doesn't play offense anymore. Like, there are guys in this game that... And, like, he's not good enough on defense for that. Like, someone like a Tony Allen doesn't play offense either, but he's way better on defense than a Michael Jordan. So, yeah, like, Jordan's not even a good defender nowadays. I'm not even sure he comes with gold clamps. He still has his defensive stance. He still has his tendencies. But, like, he can't shoot. He can't really move. Can't really do anything, to be completely honest. Yeah, he's gonna go Worthless. Trying to see are there any others that are gonna go in that tier. I don't think so. Like, I think I'm happy with my Worthless tier. Coutinho Mobley, I mean, the probable best catch and shoot player in the game. If you're asking me about who the best player who just literally hit a wide open jump shot is, I mean, Coutinho Mobley has to be right up there. He does. Like, that release is so chick. And he's lefty. Had a good upper. Like, he has to be right up there. Then Dan Marley. Dan Marley, I'm putting in B tier. I'm going to move Ben Gordon down to B, and I'm going to move somebody up to A tier. And it's going to be Pink Diamond Derek Anderson. He's going to be our first A tier player. I think he's definitely a step above a Buddy Hield. I think he's a step above, but it's not like he's significantly better than Buddy. But he is that step above. Shooting wise, like Buddy, or who did I move down? So Marley's like a 3-and-D guy. He's literally, that's what he does. He's a 3-and-D guy. He will play defense. He will shoot the 3-ball. That is what he will do. He won't do anything else. And he's not the greatest release in the world either. Buddy Hield. So not Buddy Hield. Derek Anderson. He moves. He will shoot the ball from deep. He'll actually play good defense. With his Evo, he becomes an absolutely ridiculous player. He becomes ridiculous. So for me, I think he belongs as one of the kind of probably lower players in A tier, but he belongs in A. Des Mason. Des Mason's not bad. Like, honestly, Des Mason is somewhere between B and C. If you guys don't know, the guy's got like an 84 3-ball, a release on quick, 94 speed, 94 acceleration, really good steal rating, good perimeter defense, good ball handle. Like, all the key defensive badges in gold. You can add a lot of badges to him as well. And like, he has a release on quick. Like, I don't think he's quite good enough to be in B tier, but like, people were saying all these cards were garbage. Like, no, Des Mason was good. A lot of them were garbage. Des Mason was good. Booker. I'm going to go low A tier for Booker. I think Booker is slightly better. I'm doing it. If you're asking me who I'd rather run, Buddy Hield or Devin Booker, I'm taking Buddy Hield. So I'm going to put in Buddy Hield here, but also Derek Anderson is better than both. Booker is one of the toughest players to contest in the game. That base 4 on quick release is so fast. Booker's movement is okay, and Booker's defense is pretty good. So he's going to go A. Devin Vassell. Now, Devin Vassell, like, he's going E tier. I'm also going to move him up one. I'm going to move Avery Bradley up one. Nah, screw it. If I put Clyde in that tier. Nah, when Clyde's badged up, Clyde's going to go here. Avery Bradley's here. Devin Vassell is not terrible. He is E tier. Look, he is E tier, but he's a solid enough 3-and-D guy for a Ruby. Donovan Mitchell, I'm going to go B tier. Even at the point guard position nowadays, he's just that little bit small. For me, Ben Gordon's better than Donovan Mitchell. And I know you guys might think I'm crazy for that statement, but I do personally believe that Ben Gordon is... I don't think he's much better than Mitchell. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I think Donovan Mitchell's significantly worse than Ben Gordon, but I do think Ben Gordon's better. Doug West. Doug West is going to go B tier. When he's badged up, you can make the argument he's A tier. He's got quick dribble style, base 107 on quick. A decent but not brilliant behind the back. He's 6'5", like alright, overall decent player build. I think you could easily argue him as being, when he's badged out, up there with the best players in B tier. You really could. Him like Mitchell and Gordon, to be honest. Drazen Petrovic. At this stage in the game, Drazen Petrovic is going to go D tier. He doesn't play very good defense. He's not like, for his time, he played passable defense in Season 3, but now every card has got off quick first step and he just doesn't play good enough defense. But he shoots the lights out. Dwayne Wade. So I'm putting this Dwayne Wade here in C tier. Like, you can badge out this, I'm going to put this Wade in, I'm going to put this Wade in A tier. I'm going to put this Dwayne Wade in A tier. It's like, you can give Wade a really good release in this game. Or say, Wade already has a good release. You can give Wade a really good 3-ball on this card here. He doesn't get the 3-ball here, but he can get better defensive badges. I know there are certain people that prefer this Wade to this Wade. So I'm going to move this Wade to here. But you gotta like badge up this card properly. Like, if you're just going to give this Wade shooting badges, then just use this Wade. But you can give this Wade playmaking and defensive badges. And if you can consistently green anyway without the shooting badges and without the like high 3-point rating, then you can maybe argue he's better. But for me, I think there's a tier difference between these Dwayne Wades. Fournier. Now, I don't mind Evan Fournier. Like, I think this card is perfectly usable. Like, I know some people are probably going to be like, oh no, Fournier sucks. But like, the guy's 6'7", got decent lateral. He's got like interceptor. Doesn't come with clamps. That's the killer. The killer is that he doesn't come with clamps, but his actual defense stats are fine. Just make sure he's guarding as far away from the ball as possible. He's got base 4. His release is chick. He's 6'7", got an okay wingspan. I think C, like C or D. I want to put him C. If I want to put him lower, that's fine. you want to argue he's lower, I'm not going to care too much, but I'm going to put him C. I'm putting Jamal Crawford in D tier. He is, you can either make Jamal Crawford a complete glass cannon. If you give him some shooting badges, he is a glass cannon. The guy will not play defense at all. He will play offense. Or you can make him a mediocre defensive player who's met on offense. He can only hold, he is so incomplete. He has a lot of badges, but they're useless. He's missing all the important shooting badges, and he's missing all the important defensive badges. You got to choose one or the other, and whichever choice you make, he's flawed. He's severely flawed. And the only thing is that when you ever play against him, you don't know if it's an offensive or defensive Crawford, or if it's a base Crawford who just sucks. Now, this is a card where Crawford will be good. The next version of Jamal Crawford we get is going to be a good card. His movement, Trey Burke is a good release. There's a lot of good things about Crawford. His player build is also small, so even though he is 6'5", he feels about 6'3". There's a lot of good things about Crawford. This card's not great. Harden, I think I said it in an earlier video. I'm putting Harden in low B tier. He's the worst player in B tier, but I'm putting him in B. Harden's got 41 goals, can still shoot the lights out, still has everything James Harden related. In terms of his animations, he's still got his release. Harden's still freaking good, man. He's still good. This Harden, for now, he's going S tier. I'm only keeping 5 in S. For now, he's going S. Harden's animations are so good in 2K22. Harden's movement, his shooting, just everything about James Harden in the game this year is good. His defense is even good. His player build is good. He's got the Harden shuffle, which only he has. The problem is that, again, he just came out on a day where we got 2 better point guards. And then we also got Cade recently. J. Rich. He's either bottom of B or top of C. I'm going to go, because he was an unlimited reward, and in my opinion, Harden's better than Jason Richardson. And Harden's 2000 MT, Jason Richardson was an unlimited reward. So, just for that reason, and the fact that Harden's so cheap, I'm going to use budget bias to put Harden in B tier. But, yeah, Harden and Richardson are very similar. They're going to be the cutoffs. Caldwell. Now, I'm going to move Fournier down. Because Caldwell's actually, he's just a worse Dr. J. If you've ever used Dr. J, Fournier is literally just a slightly worse version of him. Now, it's not Fournier, Caldwell. He's got very similar dribble animations. When he gets his Evo, this card off rip isn't good, but when he gets his Evo, he gets a high 3 ball, gets range, is a really good dunker, really good defender. Caldwell's solid. Then we have got Joe Johnson, A. Again, Joe Johnson will be pushing S tier if he didn't smoke, or if he didn't play he smoked 50 packs a day. Actually, no, that is... Geez, 50 packs is 1,000. 5 packs a day. That makes a lot more sense. But yeah, he just gets gassed after 2 minutes of a clutch time game. He literally gets gassed after 2 minutes. Then we got Giddey. Look, Giddey's D tier. Giddey was alright for his time though. When we didn't have any tall point guards for cheap, Giddey served the purpose, man. Don't get me wrong, Josh Giddey during moments of the month 1 served a purpose. He was used. I used him as my point guard at one stage. I didn't even think Josh Giddey was that bad. His shows right now we have Bonga, and there is no reason to ever use Giddey. And then we have some other cheap options that are top point guards. Giddey's going further and further down. Giddey at this stage is not very good, but man, he had his time. It's weird, there was a time where Giddey would have been better than some of these guys in B tier, or some of these guys honestly in probably C, maybe even B tier, because he was just the only one of what he did. And there is better versions of him, and Giddey's kind of pointless. Dr. J, B. I like Dr. J. I think Dr. J is a really good shooter. That Rudy Gay base is really, really good. His movement isn't great. He actually, even though he has a high dunk rating, obviously he's Dr. J, it's tough to get him into positions to dunk. But just overall, Dr. J is a good player. He's not bad in my team at all. He is not bad in my team at all. And honestly, Dr. J is somebody that is just an interesting card. He's still usable. Kevin Porter Jr. B tier. I love KPJ. He doesn't come with clamps, so I can't justify putting KPJ in A tier. But I love his release. I think he's a better version of Des Mason. He can play at that point guard position. He's 6'6". His defense is way better than his stats suggest. His player build is way bigger than it should be. KPJ is really good in this game. He's gone B tier. Klay Thompson. AAS. AAS. Honestly, I used the diamond yesterday after using the opal. After using the dark matter, I couldn't tell that much of a difference. Even with the diamonds half quick first step, I couldn't tell that much of a difference. I know that's not what people want to hear. I could not tell that much of a difference. Opal Clay might be the worst value card, or Dark Matter Clay might be the worst value card in all of my team, considering you will never, like, whatever about the Diamond Clay, you will not notice a difference. You will not notice a difference between Opal Clay and Dark Matter Clay. There is no scenario where there is any difference between these two cards in game. There is actually none. Like, I thought they were going to give Clay a 90 dunk, they were going to give Clay half interceptor, and they were going to give Clay half quick first step. And if that was a thing, then this Dark Matter Clay would be him. But this Dark Matter Clay, he's still going into S. But I mean, he's barely going into S tier. Like, I'm not sure if he's better than Harden. Kobe Bryant. Best of A and S. I'm looking through this here. Kobe's not going. Pink Diamond Kobe is not going to S tier. But I mean, you could argue Pink Diamond Kobe's better than both James Harden and Klay Thompson. I mean, I think you could genuinely argue that. I'm not moving, because I know if I move Klay, I know if I do this, people are going to go crazy. So, I'm going to put Klay in there. Just calm you guys down. Because I know who my last two guys are here. It should be obvious who my last two guys are here, by the way. Lance A, no brainer A tier. Lance is so damn good. Lance Stevenson is ridiculous. He's like, imagine Doug West, but he came with way more badges. He came with all the key badges, and he had the Pro 3 behind the back. That's basically what you're getting with Lance Stevenson. Pro 3, he has every badge except Chef and Circuit 3s that matter. He's got like Golden Deceptor, really good defensive stats, and he comes with half clamps. He's got range extender, Pro 3 behind the back, 107 on quick, good dunker, unbelievable handle. Lance Stevenson, A tier, no question. I don't care if he's a diamond. No question, A tier. So I'm going to have to start moving some guys down. So I'm going to see if I can get... So like Nick Anderson's going to go E tier. Nick Anderson's going E tier. Lonnie Walker's going E tier. He's not very good. So now we're going to have to start moving players down because none of these other guys are E tier. So it's a little bit lopsided. So we're going to have to move some people down. I'm going down. Sorry, you're going down again. You're going down another tier. I don't know how I feel about Io. I don't know if I feel like Io belongs. Like he's got quick dribble style, decent release, decent dunker, decent shooter. Yeah, Io needs to stay. I'm gonna move Bradley Beal down. Gonna move Clyde down. Move this Wade down. Gonna move Harden down to the top of C. Move this Wade down. Move Buddy Hield down. I'm gonna stay as is. I'm gonna stay as is with this. Luka Doncic getting the C tier. This card here, no, screw it, getting the B tier. This card is A tier player on next gen, a worthless tier player on current gen. He is one of the worst releases I've ever seen on current gen, but it's like almost impossible to contest. Like he will shoot the ball and you'll be an inch away from hand up in your face and it'll just say open. Like it's a weird thing. Luka's probably one of the weaker people in B tier. I think you could argue Luka in C tier because if you're talking next gen, every single player on D tier and C tier are both better, or on current gen, every player in both of these tiers is better than Luka. But on next gen, Luka's alright. Manu. I like Manu. I like Manu enough that I'm going to put him C tier. Like he is a player that you guys, if you guys have seen, like I always joke about calling myself #1 Manu user, but like I used Manu all the way up until halfway through season 4. Until I got Devin Booker, I used Manu Ginobili. Like Manu is not like I have Booker, Lance Stevenson, Buddy. Like they're my three. Like that's my point. That's my shooting guard rotation. And like, there's no chance Manu's breaking that. But Manu's good. Manu's good. His release, he doesn't miss. It's slow, but it genuinely doesn't miss. He's got an unbelievable handle, good behind the back. He's got some really good stun animations. He's good. Jordan A. I don't like Jordan that much, but he is A tier. Look, his defense is good enough and his offense is mediocre. The only problem is the guy doesn't get range. I think when you're talking about Michael Jordan versus like Jimmy Buckets, did I forget to put Jimmy Buckets on this list? I think Jimmy's probably like high B, Jordan's low A. Jordan's really good on defense. Obviously, the guy's Michael Jordan. We all know about his animations. We all know about his defensive stance. As an all-around good player. Michael Red. Now, Red's going to go B. I think Red's fine. I think Red is like very similar level to Dr. J. He doesn't do anything great in game. Doesn't do anything badly in game. He was a really good player for his time. It started, like, the guy came out in November, or start of December. We can't forget, like, it was 3 months ago? 3 months ago now that season 3 started. So, yeah, Michael Red's not obviously going to hold value the whole time. Monte Ellis. Worse Ben Gordon. Better Byron Scott. I'm going low B. He's either going to be low B or high C. Mo Peterson. Now, Mo Pete's pretty okay. His defense is lacking, but his jumper is so chick. He moves really well. He's 6'7". Like, Mo Pete's a really good player. I think, like, some people are going to... I think Ty in the video saying he's better than Cincinnati's pal. He's just not. But Mo Pete's really good. OJ Mayo. 1 tier below KPJ. In my opinion, KPJ is just better. Like, they've almost identical animations. He shouldn't be, but I've used both of them. Both of them play 2 guards /1. KPJ is just a lot better. Ray Allen. C. Ray Allen is a worse Michael Red. Like, the guy can shoot the 3 ball. The guy can kind of move, kind of play defense. But, like, again, he's a Ray Allen who has a 99 3 ball but no range and stuff. And a normal timing release. No, he's C. He's C. This Ray Allen, no-brainer S. Followed by Reggie Lewis, the other no-brainer S. These are my 5 S tier players. Ray Allen is the best. For me, this is how I would rank them. Ray, Reggie Lewis, Kobe, and then these are interchangeable depending on what you want. For me, it's Ray, Reggie Lewis, Kobe. No, it's Ray, Kobe, Reggie Lewis. Ray, Kobe, Reggie Lewis. Yeah, that's better. But like Ray Allen has got Ray Allen based on quick, shifty dribble style. Half quick for his step, the normal leaner. Man, this Ray is so much better than Clay. He's so much better than Clay. Is he better than Kawhi? Now that's a different question. I don't know if he's better than Kawhi or not, but he's definitely better than Clay. But also, I think that Reggie Lewis with that Kemba base, quick dribble style, his behind the back, his dunking, his defense, his interceptor is still elite. Didn't get him last season, but he's elite. Rip. D, he's not very good. Rip Hamilton is really not very good. This Rip Hamilton, though, is A. This Rip Hamilton is good. His release went to quick. He got quick dribble style. His defense is still there. He's 6'6". I love that base 40 on quick to Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson was the only player previously, I think, that had it. It turns base 40 into from an okay release, like the Peyton release, to a really good release. His all-around game is good. Not the greatest dunker, but Rip Hamilton, I think he's at a very similar level. Him and Mo Pete are very, very similar level cards. Rip Hamilton's very, very good. Ronnie Brewer, good defender. Problem is, again, he gets 22 instead of the Rudy Gay that he had last year. He doesn't shoot the ball from deep. I mean, I think if you want to argue him in B tier, I'm not going to argue it, but I think, no, if Harden's in C, he's in. Screw it, Harden's better than Dan Marley. I don't care. Harden's going into B tier. Harden's better than Dan Marley. Sidney Moncrief. A tier. I don't care. Sidney Moncrief is better than Ben Gordon. He's way better than Donovan Mitchell. Sidney Moncrief is so chick. Like, Sidney Moncrief, Splash was basically saying on his stream that he believes Sidney Moncrief is better than Gary Payton. He believes he's Gary Payton with a release that's on quick. Base 28 on quick is one of the easiest release to green. He can move. He's got shifty dribble style. He's got a decent 3 ball. You got to give him some badges, sure. But he's... like, once the Milwaukee Bucks players go down to 1,000 MT, which will happen sooner rather than later, this guy's literally, if you have 2 original owner Amethyst players, he's going to cost you 10,000 MT. Like, stupidly cheap as well. A tier for him. Steve Smith's alright. Steve Smith's going B. Like, Steve Smith is okay. Like, he's the clutch time reward, I think, for winning 50 games. But, like, he's got a good 3 ball. He's got base 22 on quick. Problem is he's got base dribble style, but, like, the guy comes with, like, goal range. He gets half clamps, half quick first step, half downhill. Like, his only problem is base dribble style. And he's not that small, 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan. Like, if he had a better dribble style, he'd be an A. He really would. Like, this B tier is solid. Any of these guys in B tier are usable, by the way. Any of these guys in B tier are usable. Heck, even most of these guys in C tier are somewhat usable. Tony Allen, because I have set a precedent that guys that play really good defense with no offense go D tier, he's going to go D tier. Vernon Maxwell, he's D. I don't rate him highly. He's barely better than Avery Bradley. Honestly, he's barely better than Avery Bradley. He's going to go D. Vernon Maxwell might even be dropping into E tier. But these two guys right here, I think Hero is better than Buddy. Like, I still have Hero. I forgot Hero's still in my squad. Starting two guard is Lance, backup is Hero. And like, again, these two guys are in over Devin Booker, so I'd be a hypocrite to put these guys in a different tier. But Tyler Hero is so nice on offense. The guy's got Trae Young on quick, Pro 3 behind the back. He's got the normal leaner. He's not even a terrible defender, but he is that dude on offense. Whereas Zach LaVine is just a better version of Hero. Zach LaVine is another guy that you would say is a not great defender, but he's, again, that dude on offense. Splash random in 250 qualifiers. I can guarantee you at least we see at least one Zach LaVine in the 250k tournaments. The guy is one of the most dangerous offensive players in the game, but he's just not great on defense. He's a slightly better offensive player than Hero and a better defender, so he's obviously no-brainer A tier. But I'm sticking by Hero and A as well. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the tier list. Let me know which you guys agree with, which you guys don't. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.